Today's December 9th, and the bees have been doing cleansing flights. This is my bee room where I put the smaller colonies. I breed all summer long, and the colonies don't get large enough to winter outside, go in the window. And I used Formic Pro formic acid September 2018, and I didn't find any Varroa mites in my colonies last winter, so I had no losses last winter. So I went ahead and I used that Formic Pro formic acid again. It's just this last September 2019, and I've had a lot more bees dying, and I checked and I had Varroa mites in my colonies still. So the Formic Pro formic acid did not work. See, they've been doing cleansing flights. So this increases the odds that I'm gonna have no losses this winter. This colony here, a month ago when I realized I had an issue and I started downsizing to make them easier to move. This colony was way up in the honey super, in the medium, and it's a fairly large colony, and I haven't had a chance to get them down with smoke or brushing them off or whatever, but I haven't had a chance to get them down. More than likely they're going to be up in here all winter long, and the queen to be laying up in the medium where I don't want her laying. I don't use queen excluders during the winter because you don't want to do that, because if the colony goes up in the medium and the queen gets stuck down below, if she gets cold and freezes, you lost your queen. I sweep this concrete at least once a week. I swept it just a few days ago. This is how many dead bees have come out. Either they fly out. The amazing thing about bees is they can die when they want to. They'll fly out and they'll die. And then some of the others, like on the entrance here, those are the ones that were carried out by the other bees. And because that Formic Pro formic acid didn't work, I had heavy losses in October and November before I used the oxalic acid. And it made my colonies a little bit smaller. Yeah, actually quite a bit smaller than what they would have been if that Formic Pro formic acid had worked. So it's going to be a lot of work this winter, moving colonies around to keep them going, keep them from freezing. But you got to do what you got to do. I don't know why more people don't do what I do to keep their bees alive. Now that I'm using oxalic acid, I have been spending more time doing that. I won't have the issues during the winter with small colonies. And I'll show you all the parts that I make. The only thing I buy is foundation. I don't buy beehives, frames, or honeybees. I make all this stuff on the table saw. The sides to the frame, here's the bottom part. Here's the top. I've got lots of frames and honey supers, medium supers, and deep supers. And so I wanted 75 doses of this Formic Pro formic acid because they've changed to a 30 dose pack and they've increased the price. So Better Bee had this, and it's still good. It hasn't expired yet. This is what I used. And I checked my videos from last year. I read the instructions again. And it killed bees just like it did the first time I used it. So I knew it was doing something. But it didn't kill the Varroa mites. It did kill 10% of my queens. So in 2017, before the Formic Pro formic acid came out, or was on the market, I bought some Russian queens from Jason Foley's Russian bees, and he claimed they were mite resistant. They weren't mite resistant. Half of the queens died during shipping and after shipping from the heat, because he fills the box, packs the box full of loose workers, and he puts the queens in a cage, and there's only 2 screens on the box, and they want to get out when it's hot, so they block the screens, and it blocks the airflow, and the box gets even hotter than it was. And that damages the health of the queens. And the queens that did survive made small colonies, and they weren't mite resistant. I almost got wiped out completely that first winter with foliage Russian bees. So I almost got wiped out with this, and I almost got wiped out with this, Formic Pro formic acid. But I had chance, I had time yet to use this Varroa vaporizer that I bought from Better Bee, $165. It does a great job because most of my colonies had clean bottom boards, and after I used that, I used it twice during a week period, and I cleaned out the bottom boards, and I saw lots of Varroa mites that were killed from this acylic acid. And I see Walmart sells acylic acid online. It's a whole lot cheaper than buying it from a bee supplier. So with this, I should be able to stay in business. It's just going to spend more time doing it. It takes about 5 to 6 minutes per colony. And because it doesn't kill the Varroa mites in the cat brood, during the fall you need to do it every week while there's cat brood in there. And after the queen's all done laying, do it one more time just before winter, and that will kill all the Varroa mites, and you won't have any issues like I just did with the mites still being in the colonies, making your bees sick from varrosis. So anyway, I should be in business again next year with no losses this coming winter. All right, thank you.